Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red. And man, I'm ready to get this cracking. This is the first official show of the new year. Happy 2025, everybody. I'm back in full effect. I know you were waiting on it. I know you couldn't wait for it. So here I am. Everybody join all in the room, man. We're going to have a heavy discussion. What way to do it than starting it off with Red's View? Man, thank you everybody for a great, marvelous 2024. All the new subscribers that came in, all the people who subscribed from online, everybody who commented on every video, every promo video, every clip, everything, every short, every reel, from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, everybody, man. We had a real good year last year, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. 2025 is the takeover. We're going to do some big things in 2025, and I hope and I pray, and I'm putting good energy out there that everybody is going to have a very successful, prosperous 2025. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the holidays. Everybody had a good new year. Man, it was a lot that happened last year, and it's funny because a lot that happened last year is carrying over to this year. So man, when y'all come in, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If this is your first time, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ResView. Also, make sure before I begin this video, hit that like button. If you're watching, hit that like button or the dislike button. It is all good as long as we get some interaction, some that helps the algorithm and all that good stuff. Just making sure that we are a-okay. We are live. Okay, yeah. We good. All right, man. So, man, we got a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to talk about today, man. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about tonight. All right. So it says Drake throws shots at LeBron James over fighting Irish freestyle. Drake throws shots at LeBron James on the fighting Irish freestyle. Now, what happened? What on earth happened? So Drake didn't officially release a single. He unofficially released a single. Freestyle, and it's called Fighting Irish. Okay. Um, Conductor. It was on Conductor's. From my understanding, this song was on Conductor, the producer Conductor. It was on his YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken, and he put it on there. And it isn't like official audio per se. It has Drake with his braids. So obviously this is an old video. He cut his braids off, I think around like November, December. So it has him sitting somewhere and he's rapping to a nice beat. I got to give him to him. It's a real nice beat. But in this Fighting Irish song, freestyle, whatever you want to call it, he's throwing shots. Oh, yes, Drake is upset. He is throwing shots from everybody to LeBron James. And this is all allegedly because he didn't name drop anybody in this song. He didn't name drop anybody, but people are assuming that he's talking about the likes of LeBron James, the likes of DeMar DeRozan, Kendrick Lamar, Drake. I even seen something that said he might be talking about Lil Wayne, right? So we're going to break down who he's obviously talking about, which a lot of people, everybody feels this is a direct shot at LeBron James. And what I can say straight up is that Drake sounds defeated. Drake sounds defeated, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't sound like the charismatic, big time mafioso rap Drake that we know him for. He sounds like his soul is snatched. Drake sounds like his soul is snatched and he doesn't know how to get it back. In this, we're going to break down everything, but I can tell you just straight up, like, I like the fact that he's rapping. And again, I like the beat. I wish that there was an official audio of this, but this sounds like a meltdown, ladies and gentlemen, without any, like, I can't think of a better word to describe it besides a meltdown. Now, you can let me know in the comments. Don't be afraid to let me know in the comments what you think about this actual song. I heard everything, but we're going to go down and break the lyrics down about everybody he's allegedly throwing shots at. Okay. So let's do that first. Ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me pull this up. So shout out to Hip Hop DX. All right. So they made an article saying who is Drake taking shots at on his new Fighting Irish freestyle. So we're gonna go over some of the bars that you see, and if you see right here, he had the fireplace lit. You know, looked like he was smoking something before that. But anyway, um, so this is why people say that he might be talking about LeBron James. It says the world fell in love with gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seems like they loved every minute. Just know this ish is personal to us, and it wasn't just business. So a lot of people feel like he's talking about LeBron James with this, meaning that the whole Kendrick Lamar battle. After the battle, Kendrick won, of course. Um, LeBron James had went to the pop-out show, the pop-out concert. LeBron James went there, so he's saying everybody fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. So I guess he talking about DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James. Okay, so that was pretty obvious. All right, let's keep going. This shows footage of LeBron James rocking out to the pop-out concert, all that good stuff. Hold on, let me go back. Goodness. Okay, now this is another one. It says, remember we trading watches? I gave you the Arabic dial. You gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang this ish was rooted in a love when it isn't. Show me how different we are. There's blessings in juxtaposition. Okay. And people were talking about him and LeBron. It says, remember we traded watches. I gave you the Arabic dial and you gave me the numbered edition. Looks like Drake has some words for LeBron on his new fighting. I guess this is a watch that they shared, but this bar stuck out to me. He says that you would check up on my son like a pediatrician. Oh man, so him saying that sounds like they're going through some type of a breakup. Doesn't this sound like a breakup that he's having with LeBron James? It just sounds very, very weird. So it says, I guess now you boys got to abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons. It come with the distance. Figured we was always going to be close like ovens and kitchens. That's a funny bar, man. Oh my God. Figured we was always going to be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken. The loyalty wasn't given. So that's more lines allegedly talking about LeBron. This is something else going at Kendrick. Now this is where it gets funny because Kendrick Lamar put out Meet the Grams, right? And in Meet the Grams, he said that Drake had alcohol problems, gambling problems, spending problems, all this stuff, right? So people feel like these bars are talking about the Meet the Grams bars. So he says, I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all telling me that I wasn't that, N-word. And I'm for the first 20 minutes, I'm gonna try my best not to cuss and all that stuff. So yeah, so he's saying that a lot of people, of course, felt like that was towards Meet the Grams. And this right here says, this ninja pulled a rabbit out the hat, and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see how y'all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club in addition. Nothing was the same with all you itches. Nothing's forgiven. Okay. So man, and ninjas wanted trouble, grabbed the shovel and dug up some ditches, covered my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a body double, and we've done dozens of switches. The other bar talking about DeMar DeRozan, like the whole fell in love with the gimmicks thing, man. And some people this is new to me. I didn't see this one. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons. It comes with the distance. So a lot of people feel like he might have been talking about Lil Wayne right there, because allegedly at the Hamptons, where that whole all-white party was, he said allegedly that Glorilla was the only one that came up and greeted him. I forgot where I heard that from, but yeah. So for lack of better terms, meltdown. This whole thing with Drake, man, listen, man, I'm tired of this Drake and J. Cole therapy diary sessions that these reflections that they keep doing are making light-skinned brothers look weak. These reflections from Port Antonio to this freestyle, the Fighting Irish freestyle going at LeBron James, it's making Kendrick look more like a juggernaut and making J. Cole and Drake look like his children, look like his little bros. This is not a good look for Drake. Okay. Like it's like Kendrick has, look what he's done. Kendrick has put out an album. Kendrick is performing at the Super Bowl. Kendrick is going on tour. And yes, Kendrick may be taking shots at Drake. You know what I'm saying? But he's supposed to. That's what winners do. Winners are going to take shots after they win, right? Losers can try to do that, but they need to move on, especially a big powerhouse like Drake. Drake, to me, has been backtracking ever since he lost the battle, because he's been just doing little silly stuff, man. Like, and this doesn't help. These reflective tracks about the battle, and and I understand, you lose your friends. I think it's messed up that if him and LeBron James were really true friends and they looked at themselves like brothers and stuff like that, yeah, I do think it's messed up that LeBron showed up to the Pop-Out show, the Pop-Out concert, has videos. A lot of people feel like Drake put this freestyle out because they saw LeBron James jamming to Man at the Garden. Drake felt a certain type of way about that. And I'm not trying to say Drake shouldn't have the right to feel how he does, but I'm thinking like his fans are thinking, oh, he's the GOAT. Oh, he's untouchable. Oh, it's not bothering him. I can't tell. Because every time I look up, Drake is throwing shots, doing something on Instagram, doing stuff like his fans are coming up with things, and it just looks terrible. It's see, and this is the thing I want to point out to y'all. Doesn't this mean that he lost? Doesn't this mean that he lost? You see, Kendrick, like I said, he's supposed to be reflective of the battle because he's the victor. He won. This whole thing with Drake is looking like real bad because his fans keep trying to paint it like he's this big star that can't get the fire blown out, that can't fall off, but he puts out this track going at LeBron James, who doesn't rap. And like I said, he has every right to feel how he does, but he's not moving like a king. Drake is not moving like a king. Drake is moving like an emotional, depressed, defeated individual that needs a therapy session of some sort. This isn't what bosses do. This isn't what kings do. Nothing he's done made me feel like he's upper level or above Kendrick. Everything Kendrick has done has been on that. See, J. Cole he had moved on, but then he backtracked when he put out that Port Antonio thing. But everything Drake has been doing hasn't been looking like he's over this battle. Has not. And this whole thing where he pulled a rabbit out the hat talking about Kendrick Lamar. And like, my thing is this: if I was Drake, I would act like the battle didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done, but and I want to talk to the Drake fans, all the Drake stands right now. Are y'all really putting up with this? Does this not look like he's defeated? I mean, the whole world knows that he is, but y'all keep acting like he's untouchable, powerful, undefeated, all this stuff. He really won the battle. I saw that BS narrative. See, I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now. I saw that weak narrative that y'all putting out there just because Joe Budden had reflected back on the battle and said Family Matters went hard. That y'all took that and ran with it, acting like he won the battle. No. He never did, and everybody knows that. But nothing he's been doing really has been making sense. Now, I saw some people said that they like this. I like the beat. I did. I didn't like the content. But I think Drake, like I've said before previously, I don't think that he knows what to do. And this whole thing of him playing victim, weren't you the one that said drop? You wanted Kendrick to do it. You taunted him to come out, do all this stuff. Now, I'm not going to say you started it, right? But you contributed to the beef. Now you want to do stuff like file the lawsuit. Now you want to do stuff like playing victim. Now, I understand how you can feel with your friends turning on you, but don't act like everybody is with the gimmick besides you. Wasn't Drake the one that said he planted the evidence to give to Kendrick, or the false story of him having a daughter and all this stuff? Didn't you contribute to it? So now when Kendrick uses that as ammunition to diss you. Now the whole world rocks with it. Now you have a problem with it. You said that you expected the Jeffrey Epstein angle, the whole pedophilia angle. You said that you expected all that. So now that it actually happened, it's a problem. This is what I don't respect about Drake right now. And I don't like, I think Drake is in shambles. I think Drake doesn't care about the culture anymore. And he's looking really foolish right now. He's just this whole playing victim thing. And I could see if he put out push-ups, you know what I'm saying, and then put out Family Matters. But in between that, you put out tailor-made freestyle, bringing Taylor Swift into it, bringing Snoop Dogg using his voice, bringing Tupac using his voice. You did all this saying, come on, Dot. I know you better come up with a triple quadruple entendre in that New York apartment, taunting Kendrick. So when you poke the bear and the bear bites and the whole industry pretty much is tired of you and turn on you, now you want to cry foul. BS. Now you want to blame the UMG label. BS. And I saw something earlier. The only reason I didn't make it a topic of the show because I found it was false. I saw something like Drake was having some conversation with somebody and was trying to bring LeBron James into it, talking about, you know, UMG did him like LeBron James, like Nike would do LeBron James if they knew that he cheated on his wife, something like that. But Drake doesn't point the finger at anybody else but himself. You're the reason for this. You didn't have to respond back to Kendrick, or if you did, you could have kept it, you know, you didn't have to get personal. You didn't have to get personal. You didn't have to bring up Whitney. And what kills me is that a lot of people get on Kendrick for the whole man, he had to bring up the PDF file stuff on him. You know what I'm saying? He had to say he liked underage girls and all that false, the lies. But Drake did the same thing. Kendrick's lie just hit harder. So what really is the issue? You know, and I think it's also weak bringing up LeBron James as if he can rap back. This is your get back talking about it. And I don't know if LeBron has tried to reach out to Drake, whatever the case may be, but I just think that this is a very weak, light-skinned type of situation going on to where Drake just looks weak each time. Move like a boss. Move like a boss, Drake. I think it's too late for that. I honestly do. But I don't like seeing him in this state. That whole rap that he did was looking like he was defeated, man. That was a defeated flow. Put out some more hits if you can do that. If you're Magic Drake, you know, none of this fade you, man, go ahead and do what you're supposed to do. Make the music. But man, this, and you know what? This also sounded to me like the Heart. You know, he put out the Heart Part 6 where he was doing all that splaining and stuff. This feels like the Heart Part 7. Now, of course, people forget about the Heart Part 6 because Kendrick Lamar came out with the album and the Heart Part 6 was on there. But this honestly felt like this is a continuation of Drake's Heart Part 6. You know, he's just reflecting back on everything, defending himself, responding to Meet the Grams. Come on, Drake, I'm not an alcoholic. Like, what? This is real bad. It's real bad. Shout out to everybody for joining in right now. Make sure that you comment right now. Let me know you in the building. Shout out to my day ones, Ashley Carver, Laker for Life. I hope you up in here. Go 8106, Trio 301, all of y'all. Zeus, where you at? But yeah, man, I don't like this whole victim mentality, Drake. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, Drake. You're better than that. You're a better MC than that. You're a better person than that. I feel like, and I know things are dark. You have every right to feel like how you feel, but this just ain't it. This just ain't it. But y'all let me know in the comments how y'all felt about the track. I asked CJ about this, and CJ was acting like it was so dope and everything like that. Like, it looks defeated. It looks bad on Drake. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. All right, now let's move on. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. So, no, you know what? No. Let me go back. I got to show y'all something. I forgot all about this. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. Let me show you this. Hold on, bear with me for a second. So right here, this Cloud King XX is a Kendrick Lamar dedication page, I guess. The guy, whoever this is, said that they went to Chat GPT and asked them to give them a Drake song or something like this. And it came up with all no, hold on. Was this the one? No. I'm missing that tweet. Oh man. This is another tweet. This is he said, "Here you go, Drake." He came up with selection dissection. You know how like on Drake's freestyles, he'll always use the TION at the end of his stuff. Yeah, this was hilarious. But what I was looking for was there was a tweet. They said that they asked him to chat GBT to do a Drake song or something like that, and it came back with all the did some action and protection and selection and all this other stuff. I wish I had it, but never mind. It was funny. But anyway, let me move on. So Kendrick Lamar was dissed by the New Day. Kendrick Lamar was dissed by the New Day. Now, for those who don't know who the New Day is, they're wrestlers, right? And we're going to talk about that a little later about some wrestling. But in that, WWE has moved to Netflix. Raw is actually on Netflix, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are now what you call heels. Heels mean bad guys. So the people that you cheer for are called the faces in wrestling. The people that you boo, thumbs down, those are the heels in wrestling. So the New Day were faces for a long time. Now they're heels. So at the event, and I want to play it, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. They brought up Kendrick Lamar because they were in LA, right? And they said something along the lines as like, "You guys have been propping up for 6 months this trash rapper named Kendrick Lamar." And they were saying that Drake really won the battle and all this, and the crowd got furious. They got heated because they were in LA. Now, what I want people to understand, all the Drake stands that saw that and was laughing, "Oh, yeah, see, they know what they talk about," they're supposed to feel that way. Me following the New Day, I can about 9 times out of 10, I can tell you that they like Kendrick over Drake. But they're playing into the heel character, the bad guy, so they know they're in LA. And what better way to make LA mad than diss Kendrick Lamar by bringing up Drake? So calm down, put your panties down. That's they're acting, okay? That's a part of acting. So keep that in mind. All right, so let me move on to something else. All right. So a couple of days ago, Young Noble of the Outlaws, their group that was with Tupac Shakur, that was Tupac's group, that still well, most of them are dead now. Most of them passed away. But the Outlaws, right? Young Noble is a member of the Outlaws and still makes music and different things like that. So Young Noble put out a diss track towards Nas. You heard me right. Young Noble put out a diss track towards Nas. I want to know if anybody heard it. Did anybody hear Young Noble's diss track towards Nas? I heard it. It's called Euthanasia, right? Euthanasia, I guess, right? Because I think the original saying is euthanasia, but he called it euthanasia. So the whole thing is with him. First of all, let me say this. I know that there's a lot of people like, "Oh my God, why is he dissing him 30 years later? This was a beef back in 1996. Let me give you some proper information about it. So, Young Noble was recently on the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue. I'm a faithful subscriber to the Art of Dialogue's channel. So, Young Noble was doing an interview with Art, and Young Noble talked about how he didn't like how Nas and the likes of Snoop Dogg has been telling lies about meeting up with Tupac, when him and Nas had met up or whatever like that. And there are different stories about Pac was surrounded. And I'm paraphrasing this stuff, but Young Noble pretty much called out everybody who has been giving misinformation about Tupac, you know. So with that being said, after the interview, Young Noble puts out this diss track, and in Euthanasia, he's calling out Nas. Let me see if I can find some of the lyrics on here. Y'all bear with me because I don't want to play it. Nas diss. Y'all hold on, bear with me. Okay, so here are some of the lyrics that he said. He says, Nas, listen, you lost your battle to Jay. Must I remind you, he effed your baby mama. He dissed you, then signed you. He said, when we see you in the park, we was 40 deep. It was right over there. Pac let you breathe. Lying, talking about you turn Pac onto Hennessy. He ain't here to vouch, so I'm riding on his frenemies. So he's talking about Nas put out a song a couple of years ago on King, and I think this is back in 2021 on King's Disease 2. I think it was like track 2 on there. It was called Death Row East, and Nas was talking about, meeting up with Pac and then putting Pac on the Hennessy and all this other stuff, right? So then he says, got your godson tat, want to be just like Pac, followed your, this is what stuck out to me, all right? This is where it got uncomfortable to me. Followed your daughter on the gram, might shoot my shot. Followed your daughter on the gram, might shoot my shot. That was disturbing to me. That was disturbing to me, but let me keep going. He said he also raps about hooking up with Esco's ex-wife and baby mother, Khalees. Calls Bravehearts the weakest group ever and threatens to beat the brakes off you and your brother Jungle. Okay. So, yeah, so he was going in. Young Noble was going in on Nas. And what was uncomfortable to me is that whole daughter line. Like, I know you want to get under Nas's skin, but I feel uncomfortable if that's my peer, because Young Noble and Nas are probably like 4 or 5 years apart, something like that. But I wouldn't say, like, if it's my enemy and we're around the same age, at least born in the same decade, I'm not gonna say I found your daughter on the gram, might shoot my shot just to get under your skin. That's like going to high school with somebody, they had a kid, and then you find their kid attractive or something like that. Now, even though their kid might be of age, right? Because Nas' daughter is grown, I would feel very awkward. I didn't like that bar. Talk about Khalees, cool. You know what I'm saying? Talk about whoever that's an adult or something like that. So she is an adult, Destiny, right? But that's your peer at the end of the day. I would feel very awkward if I talked about my peer's daughter and I might shoot my shot. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. But the whole question is, will Nas respond? Him going at Khalees, him going at Nas's career, like, talking about Jungle, his brother, all that stuff. Well, do you think Nas is gonna respond? Now I know a lot of people are saying this is Young Noble ain't on Nas's level. He's irrelevant. He's trying to do this for clicks, clout, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it is what it is. I get it. I can't lie and say that I didn't enjoy the diss track. And Nas is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I love him way above Young Noble, but I'm also a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of not battle rap, but diss tracks. I'm a big fan of that. That's a part of hip hop culture. So, do you think Nas is going to respond? Now, I don't think so initially as of right now, but I think what's going to happen is now that Young Noble has put this diss track out and is making his rounds, it ain't just going to stop right there. Young Noble, people like Vlad and Art of Dialogue and different people, so many people are probably reaching out to Young Noble right now just to have him speak about Nas, speak about that Tupac situation. Tupac stories never get old. People have built their platforms off of Tupac Shakur 25 years after he's passed away, murdered, right? 25 years after, you got the Art of Dialogue, Vlad TV. Those platforms were built, literally built off people being interviewed about Tupac. So the Tupac convo will never die. So I think what Young Noble might do is do a lot of interviews, still talking about Nas, calling out Nas, and then Nas on his next album, which I thought was supposed to come out this past year, the end of 2024. He has an album with DJ Premier coming out. So I think if Nas does respond, he's gonna throw some, some bars out there. I don't think it's gonna be a full diss track. If I was Nas, I probably wouldn't do that. But I think that Young Noble is gonna be able to benefit off of this. Shout out to Zero, man. Happy New Year to you, bro. You said no reason for anyone to listen to that Nas diss. As soon as he said Nas lost to Jay-Z, I cut that track. Man, listen. Yeah, that was definitely reaching. That was dumb. But I did like the beat. I liked the beat. I liked his flow. I'm a fan of diss tracks, and I can't sit here and say that I didn't like it, even though that was cap. And then, like I said, I was looking at your daughter and I might shoot my shot line. I'm like, I get what you were trying to do, but that's a little creepy. So nah. But yeah, I don't think Nas is going to directly respond back in his own diss track. Highly doubt that. But I do think that Nas will he's gonna throw something out there, because the more that this gets traction, the more that people talk about this, the more that Nas is going to be on his radar for sure. You said, did LeBron do a jersey swap with DeRozan? Yeah. Not yet, man. I was talking about that earlier, man. Drake is in shambles, bro. Drake is in shambles. But for those who are going to be watching, y'all let me know in the comments, do you think Nas will respond? Do you think Nas should respond? What did you think about the euthanasia diss track? Like I said, I like the beat, I like the flow, I like some of the content, but I think that overall, and I want to clear something up. This isn't a beef from 30 years ago. This is because Young Noble feels like Nas and Snoop have been spreading out lies and misinformation about Pac. However, I don't understand why Noble didn't put this out when Death Row East, the song, came out. Why did you wait until now, 2025, instead of 2021 when the song came out? That would be my only thing, my only question, because I know for sure this isn't like a 30-year-old beef that he's trying to reignite. I get what Young Noble's trying to do, but I think he went about it the wrong way. But it could work out, because I mean, he's going to get interviews. People are going to pay to talk about it. So, it is what it is. Let's move on, man. Lil Baby. Did Lil Baby fall off? Did Lil Baby fall off? Now, why are you saying that? Why are you asking that question, Jay Red? The nerve of you. Well, the reason I'm asking that is because he put out his album. Is it What's Happening? What is that album called, y'all? Hold on. What is that album called? What's it called? What Wham. Wham. And I guess he's like, what wow, like what's happening? I guess that's what he's trying to say. What you say, Nas ain't responding to this. Yeah, that'll be funny. I was just talking about you Trio 301 earlier. But the reason I'm asking did Lil Baby fall off is because when this album came out, the Wham album, I saw people talk about it, but I saw more negativity towards it. I saw people nitpick at things. People were saying, that they weren't feeling it. It was mid. And then, ironically, the same day, was that the same day or the day after? I think the same day Drake dropped. Yeah, it was Friday. Drake dropped his song, the Freestyle, the same day, and it took all the attention off the Lil Baby album. Now, Lil Baby's gonna have a solid first week in sales. He's gonna do like 115K, 120K first week. But I saw that there was a lot of backlash and bashing his project. I think. Oh, that's what it means. Who hard is me? Oh, okay. I ain't know that's what it meant. But yeah, I scanned through the album. You know what I'm saying? Didn't listen to everything, but I said this on the last episode. I said that Lil Baby sounds dated to me. Lil Baby, if you were to give me this album and I was blindfolded, you say, hey man, listen to this Lil Baby. I'm be like, oh, okay. When did this come out? And you said 2020, I would have believed you. I'd have been, oh, yeah, this sounds like some 2020. But then you would like, no, J Red, this came out 2025. I would have been like, really? Oh, it sounds the same. So yeah, man. I think that Lil Baby is still a star per se, but I think musically he's redundant. There were some songs on there that I would just like what's going on with this, like that song Twin. There was nothing that really stood out. And I think that the Young Thug track was cool with Future, but I think that era of Atlanta is outdated. It's done. You know what I'm saying? Because Atlanta's not running hip hop anymore. That's dead. I think it's more national now. It's more spread out now. Lil Baby has had that. It's like, I don't know whether it's his flow or like, shout out to Coop the Trio. Me and him was talking about this. It may be his voice, right? I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it sounds dated to me. I think Lil Baby just has been making kind of like the same music, man. But I also think he doesn't really care about being number one, being the top rapper, and all this other stuff. I think he just happened to blow up, and just went as far as he could, in my opinion. Um, like I said, I scammed through the album. It wasn't anything that really, because I'm not a Lil Baby fan. I am a fan of some of his music though. Like, what was that album that had all going all in on there and stuff like that? It was pretty cool. He had, the We Paid song. That's I like some of Lil Baby songs, right? Emotionally Scarred, all that stuff. But there were no songs on here that I was just like, man, I want to spin this record. I want to spin this record. So what you say, Zero? If you heard one Lil Baby verse, you've heard his whole discography. It reminds me of Plies, honestly. Great street support, but there's nothing left to hear after the first album. I agree with you with that all the way, but can still do a feature and get a short-lived radio hit. Exactly. I think that he's at a standstill position. I think that he blew up in 2020 because people were afraid to put stuff out. He was the only one that was on that level that put some out. Because I mean, Drake put out that Tootsie Slide thing, so it was like, all right, can that, right? But Lil Baby, his blow up, he was already brewing and he was there, right? But his blow up was 2020. But the game shifted right after that. And like you said, you hear one Lil Baby verse, it's like a different version of Young Thug's flow. And I don't know, man. It's just, to me, he doesn't have that same appeal that he used to. Again, he's gonna do a cool first week, but he's not at the level that he was. Y'all let me know in the comments again if you agree with me and Zero. That Lil Baby, I just think that after this, I mean, it's pretty much done. I don't really think I'm gonna see what hit comes from this, but and this is the thing, man. To be fair, everybody has their run. Lil Baby has been out since what? Has it been 2018, something like that? He's been out doing his thing for a minute, but he's in his Nelly sweatsuit era. When Nelly came out, it's like, yeah, Nelly's here, but his time has passed, and I just think that Lil Baby doesn't have that much diversity with his rhyme schemes anymore. It just sounds too dated. You're supposed to evolve, and I don't think that he has done that. Because I was listening to a couple of clips before. If you watched the last show, I told you that I heard a couple of clips before the album came out. I said, this sounds old and dated. So yeah, I think that it's safe to say, excuse me, that he probably fell off. I saw some people saying that they felt the project. Some people say it was cool. Some people said it was too many songs or whatever the case may be. But again, let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. Do you feel that Lil Baby fell off? Is this album gonna flop? Because I mean, he had a strong first week, but what will it mean after that? Because if you have, it's great that you do a strong first week, but what matters after that is how well the album will do. Will the numbers still be up high? Whatever the case may be. But I can tell you already, like, Kendrick is probably gonna outsell him the second week. So yeah, that's real interesting. Now, let me talk about this. Did y'all hear about this Skip Bayless lawsuit? You said, damn, you described it well with the sweatsuit era compare. Yeah. Let me speak about that real quick. Yeah, because you remember when Nelly, he came out, he had flap your wings, get your ego on, girl. He had Come On Over to My Place. Those songs were cool, but it felt like redundant of what we had previously. It was like, okay, My Place, you're trying to make that be another Dilemma song. Flap Your Wings, you trying to let that be another Hot in Here or another Shake Your Tail Feather, right? And then he put out the Over and Over Again. That's the song that was like real dope. But after that, he reached his limit. So yeah, what you say? I'm not a fan, but they all sounded like. Who you talking about? You talking about like Lil Baby and Thug? I've always felt like Gunna, Thug, and Lil Baby all sound alike. But let me know, Ricardo, Uncle Stepdaddy, what you feeling. Zero, you say he has no alter ego to express more art either, and sonically his vocals are the same. So compared to Future, Thug, and Travis, is all the same. Yep, exactly. And see, the thing about Future, what's interesting about Future is that Future has been able to evolve. He didn't do too much, didn't do too less. he's always kind of been like in the same area, but it hasn't got repetitive. Some of it did, but not all of it. You know what I'm saying? Future works with different producers, different artists, but you know, and he's always able to, like, for example, that Like That song, that's a new sound. They sampled the right record, you know what I'm saying, and they gave him a different sound instead of just the regular trap stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it had trap elements, but yeah. But yeah, let's talk about this Skip Bayless lawsuit situation going on. Let's talk about this Skip Bayless lawsuit going on. So in case you've been hiding under a rock, we're gonna glance through this, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Shout out to the chat. So the Fox Sports lawsuit involving Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and others, what we know so far. So let me get this ad out the way. So what are the details? The lawsuit filed Faraji. So Faraji, she was a hairdresser that was on Undisputed FS1. Says Faraji alleged that Dixon, the head of content for FS1, grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood when she relayed the encounter to Taylor, the Fox host, and they talking about Joy Taylor. The Fox host allegedly told her to get over it, according to the lawsuit. After starting work on the Undisputed Morning Show starring Bayless, the suit alleges he began, and they're talking about Skip, giving Faraji lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. The single mother alleges they making her sound real, oh man, real sad right now. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Bayless she was not interested in him and did not date at work. She also claims she told Bayless she was suffering from an ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in an effort to halt his advances. Instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years, according to the lawsuit. He allegedly offered Faraji $1.5 million to have sex with him, and he claimed he could change her life. The suit also claims Bayless accused Faraji of sleeping with Shannon Sharp and his co-star on Undisputed. So they just threw my boy Shannon up in there. 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Faraji. Skip, stop, you have a wife. That's what she said to him. This is funny. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This is funny. She said, Skip, stop, you have a wife. Mr. Bayless responded, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives? Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked, then taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Why is Joy Taylor named in this? Meanwhile, the suit alleges Taylor began insulting Miss Faraji on a personal and professional level after their friendship ended. The suit also alleges that Taylor mocked the English pronunciation of Faraji, who is of Parisian descent. So yeah, that's crazy. So with that being said, because it ain't no, people pay for pussy. Let's be honest. People do that, right? But the question I have for the ladies, any ladies that are in here, I have a question for you. Skip Bayless. If, figuratively speaking, because all this is alleged, allegedly covering my grounds here. I'm just reporting the news. But for the ladies, if Skip Bayless offered you $1.5 million just to have sexual intercourse, would you do it? If Skip Bayless, old white guy, skin all flaky, dragging and stuff like that, he trying to get his rocks off. 70, well, he was like 60 something then. But if he offered you $1.5 million, would you have sex with Skip Bayless? That's a real question. I'm not saying right or wrong, good or bad, whatever the case may be, but $1.5 million is a lot of money just to have sex with somebody. I'm just saying, I'm not calling nobody a prostitute, none of that. But I think the average woman would take that $1.5 million and have their lives changed. Now, I've heard some people say that, I saw somebody say this today, like the reason she declined the $1.5 million is because she could have felt like, oh, if you're offering me that much, I must be worth more than that. So after this lawsuit, I'm going to get more than that. But that's a real question for any of the ladies that are in here. Would you have sex with Skip Bayless or an old white man for $1.5 million? $1.5 million. Um, you said $1.5 million for buns is insane. You said Skip sounded like Vince McMahon without the pool. Yeah, yes, indeed. What does that mean? Trio 3011. And you said we listen and we don't judge. Money. I'm listening, man. Like, that's real. I heard on the Breakfast Club today, Jess Hilarious said she would do it. Lauren LaRosa said she would do it. I saw a lot of women say that they'll go ahead and do it, man. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Now, I'm not approving of none of the sexual abuse that this woman has went through. I don't think that you should pay for sex, obviously. But I mean, it ain't like they say. Well, I go against it, but the whole it ain't tricking if you got it. Damn, yes, it is. That's a lot of money. You said 1.5 million. Man, that girl must have great income herself. That's what and Charlemagne asked a good question today because he's saying, did he flat out offer her 1.5 million, or was it accrued over time? Was it like added? Like he would offer 15,000 here, 20,000 here, whatever. Now it sounded like he offered her 1.5 million altogether. 1.5 million altogether. Now the lady knew the lawsuit would get her more money. That's why she passed on it. Exactly. That's what it is. It's like, if you're offering me that much, I know I could get more than that once I put you on blast. So it's real interesting. They talking about him and Shannon flipping women together and all this stuff. And Shannon, Skip, Skip, don't put me in that, Skip. Skip. Shannon over there having sex on camera. Well, not on camera, but on IG Live and stuff. But it's real interesting, though. They said that Joy Reid was, messing around with different people up there. I saw Jason Whitlock had a special on his channel, and it said Bone, Joy, and Harmony. And they had the Bone Thugs Crossroads cover with Skip Bayless, Joy Reid, and or Joy Taylor, I'm sorry, Shannon Sharp, and that other former football player and stuff. But yeah, that's a lot, man. I hate to hear about people going through this, but it sounds somewhat believable. I mean, this is allegedly, but I mean, come on, man. We know how stuff goes down, and we know, like they saying that Joy moved up the ladder by having sex with those men. We hear about this all the time, so none of this is news to me. This sounded normal. It's just shocking when you do hear it. But it's crazy. You say you got to think, if you say yes, you're going to risk your job and be devalued. This route lets he ask for more and get lets her ask for more and get publicity in your favor as the victim. Now she can write a book and do interviews. Yeah, exactly. It's always a plan. And I think she said somewhere in the lawsuit, Joy said that, and I'm paraphrasing, that Joy said something along the lines of, when I'm done, like the reason I'm not doing something now is because I know I could get more money later, or when they stop giving me what I want, then I could do a lawsuit or something like that. I think that's what she said, but it was interesting nonetheless, right? What do y'all got all that freaky stuff going on at FS1? We need to send Agent Ratliff up there. Do y'all watch the Agent Ratliff videos? Kmar, what's it, that dude's name? Calamar Green or Calamar White? What's his name? Let me find him real quick on Instagram. It's killing me that I forgot he's a comedian. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. His name Calamar. Yeah, Calamar White. Do y'all watch any of the Calamar White videos where he goes up to people's jobs and stuff like that and investigates? We need Agent Ratliff, aka Calamar White, to go up there to FS1 and see what's been going on. I don't know if Skip Bayless has responded to this. Y'all let me know in the comments if he has, but that's crazy. But yeah, for the ladies who are going to watch this video later, or any of the ladies who are watching this video now, you let me know in the comments, would you have sex for $1.5 million? I can tell you this. If it was a woman, an old lady, and she offered J Red $1.5 million, what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take that money and enjoy doing it too. Every bit of it. I don't care if it's wrinkled or whatever. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it, and I'm going to be $1.5 million richer. But, it's funny because they were asking if the women would do that, and then a dude said he would do it. I'm like, all right, you would have sex with Skip Bayless for $1.5 million? And he's like, I mean, I'd be $1.5 million rich. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, y'all, come on, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Come on, man. Come on, son. Come on. All right, let's move on, man. I didn't get a chance to talk about this because it was kind of over the holidays and stuff, or I forgot to talk about this rather. Fat Joe disrespects foundational Black Americans. Fat Joe disrespects foundational Black Americans. Now, FBA is the abbreviated term for foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black Americans, that's a lineage. We are the Black Americans that were here before. There wouldn't be America without foundational Black Americans. We built America. We built the country. We were here. A lot of us were already here before. This is our land. This is our native land. So that's what it's descendants of slaves. The foundation to this country. Now let's talk about and let's watch what Fat Joe had to say, because Fat Joe, they've been lighting this dude up on social media, man, ever since this video dropped. And I'm playing, it came from Math Hoffa's show, his podcast. Y'all give me a second to pull this up. So with Math Hoffa, and I don't know if he still has the video on his page, but this right here caused a lot of controversy. Now, I'm reporting the news. Shout out to Math Hoffa. Y'all go and make sure that you check out his channel. I don't want any strikes on here, but this is fair use. Fair use, by the way, fair use. Listen to this.
These rumors were made by radical Black racist.
Radical Black racist. Keep that in mind.
Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a Black guy that ain't down with them. Right. So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them,
which is false. He's talking about foundational Black Americans
who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say their name? We're gonna give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck.
Okay, yeah. See, now you're getting the cussing.
These broke niggas is.
He called us broke.
Fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck, and that shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Oh, man.
And he's talking about Tariq Nasheed right there.
You got to be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop.
Okay. So, in case you've been hiding under a rock, that was Fat Joe talking about FBA, Foundational Black American. Okay. So, there's this whole narrative, and this all started when Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes were saying that hip hop came from Jamaica. Hip hop and Latinos, Black people and Latinos made hip hop 50-50, all this stuff. Let me tell you something. First off, hip hop was created by foundational Black Americans. Nothing more, nothing less. Was DJ Kool Herc Jamaican? Yes. But he came over to our country. He didn't create hip hop in Jamaica. He didn't create hip hop here. Hip hop was already here. The elements, he just helped put it together and call it hip hop. If you have not checked out the documentary, it is called Microphone Check. It's available on Blu-ray right now. You can go to microphonecheckmovie.com. That breaks down, that's the best hip hop documentary in the game, because it goes past 1973 and it talks about the different elements that formed and how hip hop was created. Not what came after 1973. We're talking about what led to before that, the creation of hip hop. Black Americans, Puerto Ricans, Latinos were the first students of hip hop, but they did not create it. That's not being divisive. That's gatekeeping and saying what's ours, right? We created and invented country music, right? We created and invented rock and roll. Now, over the years, other cultures and other race groups added sauce and flavor in the mix. Shout out to them. Fat Joe, dope rapper. You know what I'm saying? People trying to, crash out on him now. Fat Joe had hits and a long-lasting career. But Fat Joe is sounding very kind of alt-white and kind of racist now. You know what I'm saying? Because Him calling FBAs broke, these broke ninjas and all that, saying that we're broke, saying Black Americans. He's disrespecting Tupac. He's disrespecting Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all of his peers in rap. All of his peers, he's calling Black people. See, and I want you to get this through your thick skull. Quit trying to categorize us into a radical group. This is a lineage. I can't help that I'm FBA. I was born into this. That means that you don't have any immigrants in your family. You are from America. Now, everybody originates from Africa, right? If you do your what's the thing? Ancestry.com, of course, I can trace my DNA back to Africa, right? But I can't tell you where my family originates from in Africa. I got DNA that traces to Nigeria, the Congo, different places like that. But that doesn't mean that that's my homeland. This is my homeland. And I'm giving y'all a little history lesson right here. Jamaicans and Haitians, they don't call themselves African Jamaicans, African Haitians, right? They call themselves Haitian, Jamaican, right? Like, so with us, the whole term African American, that's dead. We don't say that anymore. We say Black Americans, a foundation of Black Americans. Some say ADOS, American descendants of slaves, whatever the case may be. But we created hip hop. There wasn't no 50-50, and y'all been trying to hijack the culture. I've been seeing some very disparaging, disrespectful things said about FBAs and calling us a hate group and an organization. And let me tell you something. Tariq Nasheed is not our leader. Now, Tariq Nasheed coined the term foundational Black Americans, but he isn't a leader. A leader, you can't be a leader of a lineage. This is blood. You know who you're related to, your foundation. You can't be a leader of that. You can be a leader of an organization, but you can't, or a group or a clique or whatever. But he speaks out for foundational Black Americans. I speak out for foundational Black Americans. But this whole thing with him talking about y'all leader and all this other stuff is like, no, there's no leader. You can't be a leader of a lineage. That makes absolutely no sense, right? You can be a leader of a household, you know, but foundational Black American is not a group. It's well, if you say a group, it's an ethnic group. It's an ethnicity, right? So, but how come every time we talk about ours, like people can be Puerto Rican, people can be Jamaican, whatever, but as soon as we say that we're foundational Black American, we're not saying that we're not African. We're not saying that, or we don't have African lineage. We're just saying, okay, that's Africa, you know. Jamaicans don't say they need to go back to Africa. Haitians don't say that they need to go back to Africa, but we get told you're not really from America. You have no culture. Hip hop is our culture. Rock and roll is our culture. Different inventions. America is our culture. America wouldn't be America without foundational Black Americans. So that whole narrative of 50-50 hip hop and stuff like that, no. Now, we've had other race groups, like I said, Eminem came in and aced it. Big Pun, Fat Joe, different people. You got a lot of Mexicans that came in and been some shout out to High Power Entertainment, you know what I'm saying, all on the West Coast and things like that. But you can't take our culture away from us. If we just said we created it, that's what it is. Like, that's like me making a pizza, right? I take my time getting the ingredients, you know, putting the sauce on there, the cheese, all the ingredients. I bake it. You're standing there watching me do it, right? You're standing there watching me make this pizza, and it comes out and it's all nice. The crust is just right. And man, you eat and it's real good. And you like, damn, man, how did you do that? And you're looking at it and you say, okay, those are the ingredients. Da, 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 da. Okay, bet. And you try to make it just like J Red did. No, you didn't create it. You were there to watch me do it. This is what Puerto Ricans and Latinos try to say that happened. Just because they were there and witnessed it means that they created it. Man, if y'all don't stop that, you said, Red, I look up and see what Angie Martinez and Fat Joe have said recently. I meant to peep that. You say, yeah. Look up to see what I gotta see what they said. But Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like it's a lot of disrespect being thrown, and shame on Fat Joe. That's why a lot of people getting on his ass right now because he pulled that fast one on us. That sounded very alt-white, talking about we're a radical hate group, that we hate anybody that's not FBA. That is not true at all. It's just that when people come over here, they treat us like we're less than and act like in their home countries they got it together, but they all over here and then want to call us divisive and stuff. It's like, no, you came to us in our homeland. We built this on our backs. Many of us have died, went through slavery, all of this. And all we're saying is to get our reparations, we have to understand that we are our own lineage, our own ethnic group. This is our nationality. It is America, American. We're foundational Black Americans. So y'all can stop the BS. For real, for real. Y'all can stop the BS. But yeah, I had to put that out there. Tariq Nasheed is not our leader. I follow Tariq and listen to a lot of what Tariq says. He coined the term foundational Black Americans, but you can't be a leader of a lineage. That makes zero sense. All right, so let me call and talk about this, call this out. Hulk Hogan booed at WWE Raw's Netflix debut. Did y'all see, how many wrestling fans do we have in here? Did you see Hulk Hogan bring his racist ass out there and get booed out the building? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, brother. That was one of the best things that I ever seen, brother. I'm talking about the red and yellow came out there. Dun, 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 and Hulk Hogan came out there. Well, let me tell you something, brother. And they booed him out the building. The only reason I'm not playing it right now is because I don't want to get a copyright strike, because WWE will probably do it. But let me say this. This is the reason why Hulk Hogan got booed. This is the reason why Hulk Hogan got booed. Some people are trying to say that it's because of his affiliation with Donald Trump. Some people are saying because he be at the MAGA rallies, all this other stuff, right? I think some of it kind of contribute to that, and then some people said, well, he was in California. California is a Democratic, liberal state. They were in LA, liberal city. Does that have something to do with it? Probably. But this isn't just about that. If it was just about Donald Trump and his affiliation with MAGA, why didn't The Undertaker get booed? And for those who don't know, Rob moved to Netflix. Undertaker came out there, and he's a known Trump supporter. People were talking about him online and stuff like that. But when he came out, everybody was cheering. Everybody was cheering. The reason why people booed Hulk Hogan is because this has been brewing for years. This has been brewing for years. I can't remember if it was 2014 or 2015, but do you remember when those tapes leaked of Hulk Hogan going on a racist rant? Do you remember that? When he was dropping the hard ER dropping the N-bomb, when Brooke Hogan was trying to date a black man, and he was just like, well, I don't want her dating N-words. You know, I don't want her dating ninjas. But if she does date a ninja, let him be $1 million ninja. You remember he said that? Y'all remember he said that? So it's been accumulating for years. On top of that, a lot of wrestlers don't like Hulk Hogan. A lot of his peers don't like Hulk Hogan. Iron Sheik went to the grave tweeting about hating Hulk Hogan. I saw Iron Sheik tweet today about it. That man is in the grave and still tweeting about Hulk Hogan. Like, I don't know who was running his page, but Iron Sheik went to the grave talking about Hulk Hogan. Bret Hart has said stuff about Hulk Hogan. Like, everybody, Macho Man didn't like Hulk Hogan. A lot of people didn't like him, you know, or don't like him. He stopped the Wrestlers Union from back in the early 90s, or was the late 80s when Jesse the Body Ventura was trying to get them done. If you watch that Vince McMahon documentary, you can see a lot of it. But Hulk Hogan it's been accumulating, like I said, for years. And I think mixed in with the Trump stuff. Also recently, did y'all remember last year where Hulk Hogan allegedly had a black girl let go from promoting his beer brand? Do you remember that? Allegedly, because she said something along the lines, I got to find the story again, but something along the lines of like, I forgot how she said it, but yeah, y'all look it up. Because I'm gonna be paraphrasing. I don't want to get it wrong, but yeah, she said that it was like some racial things going on, and Hulk Hogan, of course, denied it. But this has been lingering and going on for so long, and then with the whole Trump thing happening, I think it just came to a full blown blow up, And that's why he received all the backlash and all the boos. It felt good seeing it. Now, this is the thing. I have no dog in the fight, you know what I'm saying, with Kamala or Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not against anybody for voting for who they believe, their political beliefs. I'm not mad at Hulk Hogan for supporting Trump, going to a Trump rally. That's who that man wants to support. You know what I'm saying? I was be more mad at the racism, you know what I'm saying, the racist rants that he went on and stuff like that, and how he didn't really give a solid apology. You can't apologize for being a racist. I mean, come on. What can you say? I didn't mean to say the N-word. I'm a changed man, bro. Cut it out. But he deserved every last boo. Man, it satisfied my heart. Let me tell you something, brother. That satisfied my heart, brother, to see Hulk Hogan get his ass booed out the building. He could barely even talk. He was, for those who've been watching wrestling recently, he was getting Dominic Mysterio heat. Oh, yeah. He was getting New Day heel heat. He was getting that X-Pac heat, and he deserved every minute of it. I was glad. What you say? I heard about Hogan getting booed. Haven't seen Netflix on Raw yet, and it's not just Hogan and Trump. It's he's a habitual line piece of ish that ruined wrestling healthcare for decades. Exactly, that makes sense for why we wouldn't like him, but why white people hate Hogan, because of what he just said too about ruining wrestling healthcare, and sneaky stuff he's done behind the scenes. I know in WCW he was overbooking himself. He had a lot of power, right? But he wouldn't let certain wrestlers get over and all this other stuff. And, you know, a lot of wrestlers I've just been hearing for years, at least like the last 20 years, I've heard nothing but, you've always been hearing nothing but negativity when it comes to Hulk Hogan. I heard that he was rubbing his daughter down, allegedly rubbing his daughter down on her buttocks with like baby oil or something like that. I heard it's just a lot of stuff, man. But I think it was even Trump supporters booing Hogan. That's how bad it was. I just think he's not a likable guy anymore. A lot of people knows that he's a racist. I mean, come on. Everything. It's not just about being a Trump supporter, because like I said, Donald Trump would have got booed. Hell, Linda McMahon is affiliated with WWE and she's on his cabinet, you know. The whole WWE product would be getting booed if that's the case, you know. Donald Trump is a Hall of Famer too, a WWE Hall of Famer. White people don't like him for effing up wrestling, lying in every interview. Yeah, that's another thing. He is a habitual liar. There is a channel called WrestleLamia. Shout out to WrestleLamia. If you go to WrestleLamia right now, they have a video of like the top 10 lies Hogan has made up. You said his pizza ish store manager Ron isn't a regular Trump supporter. He's a QAnon supporter. You said, oh, that new to me. Yeah, that's jacked up and selfish about the union. Yeah, man. Jesse Ventura was trying to get that union started, and Hulk Hogan went against the grain and spilled the beans on him. I think that's why Jesse had got let go that year. I think it was like 1990 or something like that. You know, hell, Hulk Hogan even went against Vince McMahon when that whole steroid scandal went on. He's two-faced. He's a lying piece of ish. He's very two-faced. That's what it is in a nutshell. So yeah, man, a lot of people, it's been brewing. It's been brewing. I feel like wrestlers were probably in the back booing him. But yeah, it was great to see. It was really great to see, you know. So yeah, man. But man, I had a real good time with you all tonight. This is the first Res View of 2025. We got more stuff to come. I did film my movie, ladies and gentlemen. I filmed my movie, and it's called Toxic Love. I put out the EP called Red Velvet back in the top of 2023, right? So it's been well over a year, about to be 2 years since that came out. The song I had on there was called Toxic Love. Got great feedback from it. Did a little a little mini video to it this past summer. Got great reaction, and I decided to shoot a short film. So we got that done this past Sunday, man. It was a lot of hurdles that we went through. Originally, I was supposed to have this done before the new year, but stuff happens, but I got it done. You'll see it. You'll see it. I'll let you know when it comes out. Gonna be shopping it around for sure. So y'all say a prayer up for me for that. I really want this to be big. Get on your TV screen for sure. You know, it deserves that. Shout out to the phenomenal actors and actresses that participated in it. It's called Toxic Love, the movie. Man, it's gonna be dope. I'm excited about it. Starring yours truly, written and produced by me, directed by me, and Sean Hughes. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. Other than that, I got some DJ events coming up. This Sunday, I will be at Hip and Hops. That's Georgia's first black-owned brewery. And I hate saying that word, brewery, because it just sounds crazy. But I'll be there and got some more stuff coming up. So I'm excited. Congrats on wrapping up film. Appreciate that, Zero. Appreciate that. Congratulations on the film. Thank you, Trio 301. Y'all my supporters, and I love it, man. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I went through hurdles, man. Like the first day that we shot back in December, like December 14th. And man, the actress that I had in it, she ended up getting into a wreck. On the way there, she got rear-ended, jacked up her neck, and she's fine now. She's fine, but had to recast. But she showed up. Oh, she didn't show up that day. And then my sound guy who pulled up, he had caught a flat tire and he didn't have a spare tire, so we had to call AAA. The tow truck had to come. So it was very hectic. So we shot the scenes that we could, and then we had to go back on January 5th, my Founders Day. So I spent my Founders Day, KA Sci-Fi New Pie, spent my Founders Day filming. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And then the girl I recast, that actress, she ended up coming late. It wasn't like they was like an hour later from call time, but she ended up coming later because she locked her keys in the car. The same girl, the same character that I recast, she had problems. So man, it was a lot. It was a lot, but we got it done and it's on the way. Y'all will be seeing it. Not exactly when, because we're gonna try to pitch it, but it's gonna be dope. But yeah, man, I look forward to a prosperous 2025. I really want to grow this channel. Shout out to everybody who participated. Shout out to all the viral videos that we put out recently. They've been chewing us out over this Dre and Snoop review about how we didn't like that album. It didn't live up to the hype of what we thought it would be. And then they're still talking about the Kendrick Lamar thing that CJ says. So yeah, y'all make sure, if you have not already, I know Trio 301, we follow each other on social media, but Zero at JAYR3D if you're on Instagram. But yeah, man, it's been fun, and man, we got more to come. This is just the start of it. I know some other stuff is crazy that's gonna come. January is a very long month, so you'll be seeing me each and every week, same time, maybe different, either Tuesday or Wednesday, but typically Tuesdays at 8 or 8:30. So y'all get ready for that. I'm excited about ResView this year, 2025. We're gonna bring it in big, and man, can't wait to see y'all. But this is J Red. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ResView. Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. And this is J Red, ResView. I'm out.